A lot have been happening since last week, which was the last time that I gave you a daily thought. Definitely not daily, is it? It's more like weekly at the moment. But there's been a lot going on. Last week we did our first full live service at church. One or two little technical hiccups during that, and we apologise for those kind of things. And we have been working really hard this week to correct some of those issues, working really hard to get the audio being as good as we can. But with all things, we're waiting on equipment to come in, we're waiting on funds to be released so we can do that. But we're also been working really hard to make those things work as best as we can. And so this week I'm encouraging you to come along to church, 10 a.m. at our live stream service, either on Facebook or through our website, mbu.org.au, and go to church online. It's been interesting, one of these weeks where lots of things have been happening. There's been requests for the church to be involved and people within the church to be involved in many different things. And it's really wonderful and great to be recognised. But that actually just reminded me about a verse that I wanted to share with you. It comes from Luke's Gospel, and it's from Luke 14, verse 11, and it says, "For those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." And it's really interesting in our world today. We often see people working to exalt themselves, to say how great they are, how many things they're doing, how wonderful what they do are. And, lots of companies do that. And it's good to promote yourself. It's good to be positive about yourself. This passage from the Bible doesn't say we should put ourselves down. It is that if we keep on placing ourselves and saying exalting, placing ourselves above and beyond everybody else, saying we are the best there is, exalting ourselves, somebody's going to come in that is going to be better than you. Somebody's going to come in and say, actually, what you're doing is not good enough. And that's always been our biggest fears, and one of my biggest fears in life is that what we do is just not good enough. Other people don't think it's great. So often I come in on the basis that I don't exalt myself. I don't say I'm really good at things. I don't say that we can do things. I work on the basis of humbling myself and saying, if somebody asks me to do something, I say, I can do that. Yes, we will do that. But I work on the basis of trying to be humble. And when you're humble and people see how you've been working and what you've been doing and the things you've been creating, the work you've been doing, then they will lift you up and they will say and recognize what you've been doing. And this really is an important thing for us to actually realize, that self-promotion is not always the best thing. But hiding yourself is also not a great thing. We need to be able to navigate ourselves into this social media, this change of the world that we live in. We live in a world where the way we communicate is amazingly different to what it used to be, only a number of years ago. And, like even a couple of months ago, everybody's got to put something on to, out into the world there. So let me just pray with you. Let me ask in prayer today that we may not think of ourselves too highly, but come in with a sense of humility, a sense of humbleness within our lives, in all that we do, that we will be recognized for our efforts and energies and talents. So let's just pray together. Our gracious Lord, we just give you thanks for this time. We give you thanks that we can share this daily thought together. And Lord, we just ask that you encourage us, you lead us, but you also show us how to be humble in our activities, in the things that we do, in the work that we have, in the sport that we play, in the online presence that we have. Help us to be humble in all that we do. And Lord, exalt those who are in need of exaltation, and humble those who need to be brought down so that they know that you are God. Our gracious Lord, we just pray this in your holy name. Amen.